right, let me read Numbers 9:10 through 12. Speaking to the children of Israel, saying, if any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. The 14th day of the second month at evening they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break any bone of it. According to the ordinances of the Passover, they shall keep it. And then it goes on and talks about all the different particulars. The question that came up, and it's a very good question, and I don't know that I have the answer. I might have to do Moses. Hey, hold on a minute, I'll get back with you. But it says, did the Pesach Shini, which is the second Passover, include also observing the Feast of Unleavened Bread for that following 7 days? Or was it that the unclean would have kept the latter feast with the rest of the community? That's a good question. I don't know that I've ever even thought on that. I'll get back with you on that. It doesn't, I'm looking at the text, it doesn't say anything about the Feast of Unleavened Bread here. I will speculate, and I want to underscore, circle, and highlight that word, that since the Feast of Unleavened Bread was, you know, one of those 3 pilgrimage feasts, but in this particular case, it is connected to the Pesach. I don't see anything that would prohibit anybody from doing that. But it doesn't, that I can detect anyway, it doesn't speak to it specifically. So a very good question that we may have to dig into. Do any of you brethren have any insight on this? Has that ever come up before?
The way I understand it is the whole purpose for the Pesach Shini is because they weren't able to make it there for Pesach.
Right.
So if they were not able to do that, then they would not have been able to make it there for the Feast of Unleavened. Right. Which means they would be actually keeping it all together at the second. That
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't say anything about the 7 days of unleavened bread specifically, but that makes sense to me because that would be the point, right? You didn't make it, you weren't able to make it prior.
Yeah, I know as a father, I'd be like, if you were there for the feast, but you weren't there for Pesach, where were you?
Yeah.
If you were that close.
Yeah. So, again, that resonates with me. It doesn't, that I can detect anyway, it doesn't address it specifically, but that just makes sense.
So, Pesach Sheni, 2 Chronicles 30:12 and 13 and so on. A very large crowd of people assembled in Jerusalem to celebrate the Feast of Unleavened Bread in the second month. They removed all the altars in Jerusalem and cleared away all the incense in the altars and so on. And then they go on to talk about how Hezekiah prayed for them, saying, may the Lord who is good pardon everyone who sets his heart on seeking the Lord, the God of Israel, of his fathers, even if he is not clean according to the rules of the sanctuary. And the Lord heard Hezekiah and healed his people. And the Israelites who were present in Jerusalem celebrated the Feast of Unleavened Bread for 7 days with great rejoicing, while the Levites were sanctifying themselves to the Lord. And when they completed the 7 days of sanctification, they agreed to celebrate the feast of the Lord for 7 more days because the priest became clean.
Well, whoever asked that question, there's your answer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's why everybody needs to be a prophet, right?